Our Sunday night game, Baltimore Ravens -4.5 at home against Cleveland. We already know that Sean likes the Baltimore Ravens. He loves the Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
because it's part of his parlay power play of the week. And we do expect Lamar Jackson to be back. I expect that as well. And for that reason, I will also take Baltimore minus the 4.5 against Cleveland as Baltimore's home. And hey, listen, these games in that division now, every one of these games is just the utmost of importance.
I got a question for you now.
Yeah.
This is week 12, obviously, so there's 6 weeks of the season left, and now we started talking about this earlier about how a lot of these games are division games because the NFL went to that thing a few years ago where they wanted the division games to count more, so they moved them late in the season, which I think is a pretty good idea. So, when you see these games and these games do these games? Are these easier to bet for you than some of these other games where one or two of the teams doesn't have anything to play for?
Sometimes those teams that don't have anything to play for are the most dangerous teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, historically, you'll see late in the season, those games are the tricky games. They really are sometimes.
Yep.
But so, yeah, I do find it. Listen, I had a pretty good week last week. The weeks before with all the underdogs winning, it kind of took us by surprise. But now I don't see any surprise, especially after Tennessee loses again last week. I'm not seeing anything that would shock me anymore. So with that in mind, you have to really take a look at these lines, do your homework. So yeah.
In these games, in the head-to-head, the Ravens have won 11 of 14 against the Browns over the last 7 years, and they're going to play twice in 3 weeks. If Jackson plays, obviously the Ravens are a different team, and for the Browns and Baker Mayfield, I mean they have a tough schedule coming up. But do you think if the Browns falter down the stretch and Mayfield continues to struggle, will they look to make a change in the offseason?
I think so. He's not he's an average NFL quarterback. I said it when he got drafted. You can go back. I've been on, different shows, different radio shows throughout. When he got drafted, I didn't like him at the time. So I certainly don't like him now. Every once in a while, he'll come up with a good game, but he is an average NFL quarterback. So Cleveland is in trouble. Cleveland's game is running the ball. So they have to run the ball. He's got to convert third downs, which he hasn't been able to do very well.
And you can't win anything in the NFL. You can win games in the NFL running, and you see like the Colts and some of these teams, but I don't think you can win titles unless you can throw the ball down the field at times against, especially in the playoffs. At some point, you're going to have to put some points up and
agree.
You can't just manage the game and run the ball and score enough points against some of these teams.
So. No, I agree. And you have to get the ball downfield. He is not able to do that very well.